Hey guys, it's Raul with R&D Moving and Storage Supplies. Back to talk about more boxes. We're giving some more details, some more information that people want to know about boxes. You might notice or remember that a couple of videos ago I mentioned using the boxes you need for moving, and we suggested using small boxes for heavy items and bigger boxes for lighter items. The reason being is really difficult to carry very heavy items in a big box because it's hard, it will challenge your back. Plus, a box becomes very wobbly, so we suggested using a small box. Now, people ask us, what's the limit that a box can carry? How much can I load in it? I know you mentioned heavy items, light items. What's the maximum? So we figured we'd talk about that today, okay? Talk about the limits, the weight limits of a box. So, underneath boxes, you might have noticed this label, okay? And we're gonna put we'll put up a picture for you to see. Okay, perfect. So we're back. So you've seen the label. This is what you call a box maker certificate. It gives the certification as to the test limits of the box, the weight limit, the crash test limits, and other information. The most important one is gross weight limit. That's for you to know. That's gross weight, how much you can load the box. Okay. Crash test limit, which is the edge crash. That part is how many boxes you can put up on top of each other, how much weight one box can withhold with all the other boxes on top of it, okay? So, when you want to know the limit of the box, it says on it. It says right underneath what the limit is. And the gross limit in this case is 65, as you might notice on the picture, is 65 pounds. But again, you're going to notice different boxes, different limits, okay? The most common is 65 pounds. But you want to visit that label under the box to know how much you can load it, okay? Now when it comes to putting them on top of each other, that part is very important, because you're going to be loading a truck or a car or a van or whatever, or even storing them into a storage compartment or a storage closet or another location. When you put them on top of each other and you don't know what's going to happen, and then what happens, you're going to go look at your boxes after the move when you get your new place, or when you go back into your storage facility, and you're going to notice the boxes all wobbly on top of each other, all falling through. It's because you didn't do things properly. And the way this works is you have to line up the corners. Okay, when you put a box on top of each other, this crash test limit only applies when they're corner to corner. In other words, every box has to be perfectly the same exact size and on top of each other. Such as, for example, you're going to notice these boxes here. They're all on top of each other. They're perfectly lined up. In that case, the test crash limits apply perfectly, because the boxes, the corner, the edge of the box is what's holding it up together. That's how they test these boxes. They put them on top of each other, corner to corner lined, and most often it's around 200-pound crash test limit. Okay, that's the most common one. You're gonna see under the label itself when they say the crash test limit is 32 pounds per inch. But there's more of a technical definition to that. But the most important part is, keep in mind, it's around 200 pounds when you put them on top of each other. But that is contingent upon you lining up all the corners, the boxes being the exact size to each other. As you can see, 18, 18, 27, 18, 18, 27, they're both exactly correct, lined up with each other. The moment it goes off, you put a smaller box than the other one, the flaps all start bending, and that's when you see boxes crashing through. You're gonna see we have 3 piles here. 1, 2, 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, and again 6 boxes. And if you look at this, all 3 piles, you're gonna see one of them is defective. Can you find out? Tell me which one it is. All right, you're gonna see it's this one here, because it is off. So that limit really doesn't apply. And keep in mind, like most people, just don't be too technical. Give me something that I can use. Okay, 200 pounds or below. Okay, that's the maximum a box can hold on top of it. provided all the corners are lined up, and don't exceed 4 boxes. I would say 3 boxes only. Don't exceed 3 boxes. So when you store your boxes away, line them up perfectly, no more than 3 boxes, okay? Loading the box, you simply flip the box over, you look at the gross limit, and you know, 65 pounds. I always say go below. Don't exceed it. Don't even go to the limit. Go below a little. And of course, no one has a scale to weigh every single box. If you do, great. But if you don't, just fill the box when you load it. If you feel it's pretty heavy, that's it. Stop there. Don't go further. You don't want to. I know we want to make use of the box as much as we can, load up as much as we can, but you don't want to be moving and along the way things fall apart on you. It's best is to use stick to the limit or below, and don't exceed 3 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If the boxes are light, put up to 5 boxes. It doesn't really matter because they're really light. So you have 200 pounds, right? And again, just keep in mind, be neat. Perfectly lined up with each other. Perfectly lined up. So long as they're lined up, you're good. Those limits apply. Because if you go to the company and say, oh, you told me it's 200, your label says 200, or your certificate says 200, they're going to say, or they're lined up. And if they're not lined up, they won't stick by their certification. They'll say, hold on a second, they're supposed to be lined up. I know it's technical and everything, and most people will not follow this. But if you want to know about it, this is how it is, okay? A lot of people don't know about it. They come in and ask us so many questions, and we go in, we dig for it, we contact the supplier, we talk to some engineers sometimes about it, and that's what they all say. Line them up and stick to the certificate. Don't go for more than that. If you're doing a move, let's say from here to another, let's say a few kilometers away from here, no problem. Boxes will be fine. But when you're moving across country, across cities, far away, it's a different story. You have to stick to those limits, because otherwise your boxes may come apart. And movers usually do that. Movers usually know how to pack things up. They look at packing a truck like a Tetris puzzle. They make sure everything is lined up with itself, nicely lined up, and they're all nice and tight so nothing fluctuates. So I think that's all that can be said. Any questions you might have, let us know. If there's anything else you want to know, any suggestions, we appreciate it. If you want to subscribe to our channel so you receive these videos on the weekly basis, by all means subscribe below, and you get to see me every week. I hope this was helpful. Any other questions you might have, as I mentioned, let us know, okay? Thank you. Ciao.